You know, your energy just now is acting as a neutron moderator, okay? And I'm feeling a bit thermodynamic.
I cannot call him a brother. It's different. He's something, at the same level, more, and I cannot describe it.
Are you gonna cry?
Me? Yeah, I was feeling quite emotional.
Yeah.
Ha! You do things like that, nah, sometimes. Tell the truth. Tell them. Anna?
It's not that Shaolin.
What is this?
I copied exactly what you're doing.
What in God's
I
name?
get the last fold right.
Welcome to Spill the Tea, Jim and Ishwak. The last time it was Zoom boxes, so I'm so happy to see you guys in person.
Likewise.
This is better.
Yeah.
So much better. Yeah. In person and as Rocket Boys. Guys, season 1, I remember after it released and how festive the atmosphere around it was. People were hailing it as one of the finest shows that came out of our country. What was the mood like? Like, heart of hearts, did you guys know that it would skyrocket?
He's the expert on this question.
Oh, did you know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I got a sense of it when I was just, from the very beginning, when I read the script, I knew that it was based on the theme, based on, the writing and the intent with which the makers were making it. I had a sense that it's going to find its place, but not really. I mean, the kind of love and support we got, widespread, all kinds of audiences from the fraternity, everyone, that was it's still sinking in. I still wonder, is this real? Are people just being nice? It's all of that.
Has it sunk in for you a year in?
I think similarly to him, right on the script level, you're like, oh, this is very interesting. So there's that going for you. Then you start doing workshops. Well, I started doing workshops and rehearsals with Abhay specifically. And then it gets you more excited because you're like, oh, I think I found a collaborator that understands me and gets me and we're on the same page. Okay.
Exciting.
Dare to get excited, or whatever. And then, of course, there's the long shooting schedule, which includes all the emotions, right? From absolute elation that you managed to nail a single shot scene that you just didn't know if you could do, and it happened and everything was perfect and it worked, whatever, to like the drudgery of work, like it's the 15th day in a row, you're up at 5 in the morning and you have to shave and put prosthetics on and a fat suit and it's hot and it's just hot and you're tired and
took you through all of it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you get over that as well. But I think in our, I wouldn't say hearts and minds, but in our general family feeling, the only way that feeling can really come about is if you're shooting almost 2 seasons together, long hours, same crew. So huge, and usually there are different directors that come in and out, but this is like a consistent, that family feeling of, oh, we're making something with a lot of heart and real desire to be good. So we're glad that the story reached people. Otherwise, I think it would have been a bit sad.
I know.
Would have been a bit sad. Like, oh, we worked so hard and people were like, ha, theek hai, homie papa.
Also, what would you do with season 2 then if that happened? So thank God.
Thank God.
And you talked about shooting large parts of season 2 along with season 1. But when all this feedback and love and criticism was coming in, were there moments of, oh shucks, I wish I could just incorporate this in the next?
I think Abhay felt that.
Okay.
Abhay wanted to try to make the strengths of the show shine even brighter in season 2 and try to diminish anything that he could understand based on the feedback and his own personal barometer that might be weaknesses. Sometimes pacing issues, maybe. Sometimes maybe a leaning too much into personal lives without keeping it fast-paced and science-based. You know, these are some of the things we got. As far as the historical inaccuracies thing go,
Yeah.
I feel that he made a show based on some really phenomenal research, and some characters were composite characters between many people, and parallels have been drawn, but I don't think they're entirely fair. I think sometimes you do need to make composite characters that aren't any one person, but they're just a product of many forces.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So I think he really had that in his brain and was really trying to think how he can do what I just said and how do I. But I don't think the burden of that fell on us, really. It was more like we always tried to approach the scenes with a level of honesty and not be boringness.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And we tried to do that even in the second little schedule that we
No,
had.
and talking about that honesty, when you're creating something good for the first time, there's a sense of purity, a sense of magic almost. How important is it to recreate that? You talked about the team that was largely the same. How important is it for you to really get back into that mahal? And can you really?
You know, Abhay does it. He just has this magical, uncanny knack of being able to do it, of being
Tell me
able
how.
to. You get the sense that he's always striving, he's always thinking about it, he's always restructuring, he's always aiming for the best possible scene in the best possible show. And as a consequence, it's really infectious. And he does it in a light-hearted, fun, but also clearly like driven way. You don't get the sense that you'll fool around frivolously. You get the sense that you're going to fool around in the pursuit of excellence. And so I think he just inspires everyone to kind of rise up to that. And so we all want to not let him down.
I also feel that it's the, you know, him in person, and also his work speaks, like, because I always feel that from an actor's perspective, it's that unadulterated relationship between the actor and the text, and he is also the writer. I think that's something that binds all of us. It's that writing that kept me on my toes, because this wasn't a show where sometimes, I mean, you get sluggish with certain scenes, but this was a scene, this was a space, irrespective of season 1, season 2, the stuff that we did together, or the last lap of the shoot, which was we did end of last year. I was always excited to go to set, and you know, I sensed that in every person on the set. It wasn't just the actors.
That's infectious.
Crew, direction, everyone brought their A game every day.
Yeah.
And throughout, as long as we shot over 2 years. Yeah, it was that sense of camaraderie, that sense of, you know, that team effort that really shows. It's a passion with which everyone has worked. It would have really sucked if no one watched.
I know. I mean, a story begs to be heard, right? That's the whole reason a story exists, is to be shared and for other people to hear it. And I'm just really glad that this one got heard.
It's also reassuring for actors like you, right? That in all the clutter, and because God knows that there's a lot of content coming out today, that a good story will find its place?
I think it always will, actually. I really don't doubt that. I think it will. If it's been made well and the story is really solid, people will watch it. Subject matter can be anything. So many people have asked us, oh, were you nervous, scientists and this thing? Not at all. Any subject on earth can be a wonderful story if it's told well. It's about the strength of the maker and the storyteller. That's all.
Yeah. But when we did talk during season 1, you were a bit overwhelmed by all the technical jargon. Do you guys feel more with it now? Like, do you use it in common parlance?
No chance.
No?
My memory has faded. I learned a lot of it.
guys.
I actually made an effort. I tried to go down the rabbit hole, and I was trying to recall some of it, but yeah, it's all gone.
When would I need to say, though, you know, the heavy water, it acts as a neutron moderator. I mean, when would I need to say that in my regular life? Almost never. I should just routinely say it.
Yeah.
You know, your energy just now is acting as a neutron moderator, okay? And I'm feeling a bit thermodynamic in myself.
Can I say I'm impressed?
See, it works.
It works. It always works.
Just throw in some
Throw
big
it in
words.
there.
This, I mean, what you said.
Yo,
did
that's the last scene of the show. It's very. So, Abhay, hey, congratulations. We just discussed the last scene of the show without anyone knowing it.
The two of you, chalk and cheese, different approaches to acting.
Black and white.
Black and white, like you pointed that out. But I've heard that the both of you are in the practice of making a lot of notes on your script. If I were to get no notes, how do you get into? Like, if I were to get hold of your personal scripts, how would they be different from each other?
He'll have every page. It'll be hard to understand what the lines are and what his notes are.
And sometimes, Jim's going to say sometimes he gets confused.
And sometimes he does get confused. He says what's his written on the side. I don't know. That's the cue.
Subtext,
I'm wondering where the line went.
Oh damn! No, you know,
What are you writing?
It's not always the same. I don't know. It's like, you know, it's like
Science is cool.
So I'll tell you what. It could be anything from, you know, how when I read it the first time, how it's the emotion that I feel. It could be the subtext. It could be the words that I want to add. So, which is only in my head. Nobody knows, but I'm convinced that's a part of the script now.
We'll be like, Baba, if you're changing the cue, at least tell us before we say action. I'm waiting. I'm wondering, did he say it? Did I miss it? Am I not? Did I miss the cue? Oh, he didn't say it.
Hello, we always rehearse, we always discuss. This was like this one time where we didn't have the time to discuss.
I'm just teasing. I don't make so many notes about intentions and stuff. I much prefer rehearsing and playing them out and playing them out and playing them out and playing a new one and playing a new one and playing a new one and trying another one and trying a different one and trying it funny and trying it serious, you know. So then I can do some blend of all of them in the final thing, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mostly write if I come up with a potential alternate line that might work better in case Ishwak plays it like this as opposed to like this. If he plays it like this, then I'll stick to the line. If he plays it like this is more or less the line, keeping the cue intact at the end.
Note.
Which even I do.
But it's slightly different, you know, it just is slightly funnier or it's slightly whatever, you know.
That's so fascinating.
I end up writing those little things, mostly because if it's a Hindi improvisation, I need to have learnt it in advance, you know. So
Fair.
that ends up being what I write.
I've also heard you say that you go for a quick jog before shoot
Only-
and theatre
only
days.
play, only
Only
plays,
plays.
yeah.
Do you guys have an on-set ritual? Something that gets the blood going?
Could change
You do?
voice work to a little bit of warm up, punching, kicking. I mean, if I'm out in the cold shooting or if I'm sorry, what?
You somersault and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, come on.
No, come
Sometimes.
on.
Yeah,
If I'm
totally,
really
totally.
low on energy, I just kind of do a bit of a warm up.
It's great.
But
That's
that's-
my warm-up, watching him do the somersaults and all. I'm like, kya kar rahe hai yaar?
That's just old habits die hard. But
What does that do for you? Gets the blood rushing, basically.
yeah, I mean, just because you've been sitting, sluggish for like hours, and then just to sort of get back, and
You know, and it's not like we're shooting easy scenes. Sometimes it's like, oh, okay, you've been waiting for 3 hours. Come on, get up and do a 3-minute steady cam shot. Chalo, chalo,
And
chalo,
it's very
chalo.
sudden.
And it's like, wow.
it's like sudden. You get a 5-minute heads up at best. Sometimes, if you're lucky. But yeah, I mean that's the nature of filmmaking. It's chaotic, which is fun, and you got to find the music in that noise. I love that process. It's challenging. It's like always keeps you on your toes. It's like being on a it's like being on a cricket team, or pretty much like being on a battlefield. It's like a mix of both. That kind of discipline with that kind of, while being on a film set, which is very chill otherwise, which is very, it's like you get the vibe that you're just out here to have fun, but a part of you has to.
Ha! You do things like that, nah, sometimes. Tell the truth. Tell them. He'll be like, Ha! है ना?
It's not that Shaolin.
Listen, whatever works.
Ha!
Okay, I'll do.
Yeah! Come on. Yes.
Try to get that bass, your bass charged up.
I love it, guys.
All that.
Have you watched that Wolf of Wall Street? Oh!
Do you want to let us in on any of his rituals? I feel like he's.
This is what he does.
I want to be a fly on this wall. We use
What do I do?
somersault.
Do I do things?
Won't you?
No, I hop a bit, na? Sometimes I guess.
No, but it's amazing. I envy this about actors who can just like get there and they don't need to do any of this. I mean, I'd be very happy not to jump around, make a fool out of myself like a monkey, because like I'm stretching, I'm doing like all kinds of splits, and that's what I need to do before pretty much after every break. And I wish I didn't have to, but I don't know. That's the only thing that works for me.
I think doing a somersault in the fat suit would have looked a bit ridiculous. You know what I mean? So I had to make do with, I'm not warm. Let's start the scene.
Yeah. Was there a word or emotion that you played with for each of your characters?
Can't be singular. It can never be singular.
No?
Not for yourself, not for the co-actor. For me, I think it's always changing. I mean, I think we spoke about it recently, that he put it so well that, it's like, you don't know, why didn't you say it?
Say what?
About, what you said about how you don't want to, we're still figuring out, like everyone's just figuring out himself, right? You cannot put a character in a sort of a box.
Straitjacket.
And, no one word can encapsulate a person.
If we struggle to find, let's say, Homie is more observably mercurial, more observably brash. Vikram Sarabhai is more observably thoughtful and more observably sincere. I think they both have the equal and opposite inside of them in equal measure as is observable for the other. So I think Vikram Sarabhai is just as mercurial and brash somewhere deep inside of him. And I think Homie is just as thoughtful and sincere somewhere deep inside of him. And the whole point is that they bring out each other's qualities as they interact.
तुम्हारे न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर का खामियाजा मेरे स्पेस प्रोग्राम को भुगतना पड़ रहा है. You don't know me at all. Sadly, I'm the only one who knows you enough.
And so much of the success of the show kind of hinges on the chemistry that you guys have managed to crack. What do you bond over, like offset? Like, how did you get to this level of comfort?
Ha! Tell us.
Knew it.
He got everyone together, and he got me, like, because
He has a way of doing
get
that.
everyone together to play, for fun and games, table tennis. And I was a table tennis player, national level table. I'd quit. I never played up like in so many
National
years.
level.
I mean, if you thought what he was doing earlier was Shaolin, you should see him play table tennis. It is terrifying.
Kung Fu.
He is too fucking good. He's so good. It's unplayable. I mean, you're like, please, bhai, you stop playing. Let us have fun. We're just trying to have a good time or whatever. And he's like, and he does like intimidation
I toss.
tactics and all of this stuff, like bouncing it and looking at you and stuff. And you're like, what the fuck is about to
I just wanted to
arrive?
chill and break
Yeah.
the ice.
I thought we'd have a beer and just play some table tennis, and then he'll be like, he does a step and a fire and all of these things. It's intense. He's really good, like unplayably good.
Dragon.
It was very irritating because I thought I was good.
But I started playing. So basically, I dethroned him from the number one, from the TT champ of. He was the TT champ of the group.
Oops.
Until he invited me.
Huge mistake. But we bonded.
Yeah.
So maybe there was some positives to losing horribly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can see that. Losing horribly. What is the key to sort of getting back into the headspace of a character? Like, do you rewatch old episodes? Is there a perfume, music, familiarity, or just be good actors?
It's like the record is there, the groove is there. You just got to put the pin back in the groove, and hope that it goes round and still plays and hasn't deteriorated too much over time.
I like that music analogy.
It's beautiful.
I think that's more or less how it is.
Speaking of music, since you're in the habit of kind of using songs to describe your pictures on your Instagram, what's a song you dedicate to Homie Baba?
I mean, I was going to go cheesy, but let me actually think. The cheesy first thing that popped into my head was "Fly me to the moon," but it's not right. It's not right. Stravinsky, The Rite of Spring.
I would give an architectural analogy. So I'd probably use a building to define my character. But it's like he spoke about music. For me, again, it's like that foundation. You know, if you build that foundation, then it always stays with you. Like if I was to shoot which is quite possible in Rocket Boys, if I was to shoot a scene tomorrow,
Yeah, it may
5 days before the release,
there may be like one patchwork. Just come in now, one quick one.
we just get it. My bond with him now is not just Ishwak and Jim. It's what and that's what they say. You know, I guess that the kind of relationship you develop with your director, with your co-actors, it is something which is ethereal. It's something that is like none other. I cannot call him a brother. It's different. He is something, you know, at the same level, more, and I cannot describe it.
Are you gonna cry?
Me? Yeah, I was feeling quite emotional.
Yeah. Listen, you guys have brought this one out in record time. But meanwhile, there's a Made in Heaven and a Paatal that you've kind of sort of kept us waiting for. Tell me, do you have an update on dates? Or are you just going to exit the conversation?
What's
waiting
Paatal?
You're in this.
Paatal.
You're in the second one, no?
Huh?
Isn't there a second one?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
He's not allowed to talk about it. Made in Heaven, I'm in the second one.
You're there.
Hopefully it's coming out soon, but I don't know when. I wish I could tell you more details. I really don't know.
Just know that there's a lot of excitement for it. And you will keep us guessing. Lips are sealed. Okay, guys, on that note.
Maybe he's not in Paatal.
I'm going to hand you a piece of paper.
Are you going to make us a rocket? We have to make a paper airplane?
So very original. You're going to make a paper rocket.
So are you.
You have 1 minute to make this paper rocket while giving us as many reasons as you can as to why we have to watch Rocket Boys.
That I'll do, but will you also make one?
Season 2.
So we have a three-way fight.
And we're going to fly it straight into camera and let's see who gets furthest.
Nice.
Okay, let's go.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. 3, 2, 1,
she's a pro.
go.
Because it's entertaining.
It's the best show ever.
Whoa! Because promises that were made in the first season will be fulfilled.
Listen, guys, you are being
Because
very
it has
scientific
Homie
about this.
Baba
What are you doing?
And Vikram Sarabhai.
Did you say it has Homie Baba and Vikram Sarabhai?
Yeah.
It also has Regina what's her name? Mrinalini Sarabhai and Pipsi Wadia. Is it Wadia in the show? Anyway, Pipsi.
It's shot very well.
It's shot beautifully. The music is incredible. The editing is tight and crisp.
And
the production design is on point.
And you have about 10 seconds to fly this baby.
And it's our show.
It's our show.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, time. That's it.
What is this?
I copied exactly what you're doing.
What in God's
I
name?
didn't get the last fold right.
Only the last fold. You're right.
Last fold I messed up.
By you fly it at the camera.
I think I'm promoting your show better, huh? Just saying.
Wow, you made a real little devil.
Copied your
She made a little devil.
Power it up.
Ready?
Come on, send it.
1,
2.
2,
Oh
3.
my God.
Oh.
Damn.
None of them went at the camera. Can you VFX me out of this? 1 second, okay? VFX me out later. Throw it. Ooh, yeah. Oh, Rocket Boys.
Woo!
Yeah. Sneha, you look like a disappointed mother when you look at me sometimes.
That's
like, oh,
usually me
God.
with my 5-year-old. Yeah.
They're just like, oh God, he's running around again.
It's Jim doing a Jim thing again.
Oh, Jesus Christ. When will I get good at people to interview? When will I get nice people?
When you stop talking to actors.
No.
When
That's
can I
not-
stop talking to actors? Ah.
I love my job, guys. On
Hey,
that note,
me too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And it was really a pleasure
you.
to meet you in person.
Likewise.
Let
Better
this
than
be
last time.
No, most definitely. Thank you and all the best for the show.
Thanks.
Can't wait to see it skyrocket.
I hope you like the second season.
I can't wait to see it. Thank you, guys.
If you like Spill the Tea with Sneha,
Subscribe to Film Companion.
like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, all of that. What he said. Thank you, guys.